بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق.
Actually, on pain of the hadith number 589 is very important. Let me quickly go ahead for people who were not here last week, because this hadith sharif teaches us many things, and that is, for men, it teaches us not to miss salah with jamaat in the masjid. Okay? And it also teaches us that when you come to the masjid, we should pray in the first saf. Try to pray in the first saf. If first saf is full, then the second, then the third. But do not try to go and sit in the back. That is wrong. So Abu Huraira says that Rasulullah said, if the people knew the reward for pronouncing the Adhan, pronouncing the Adhan means calling Adhan, right? And for standing in the first saf, and found no other way to get that except by drawing lots, they would draw lots. And I told you last week that in Sham, in Syria, when Sahaba won that over that country, and the time came for the first salah, so Sahaba were eager to get this honor of calling the first azan in Sham, in Syria. So every Sahabi wanted to call adhan, so the Amirul Mu'minin or the Amir of the Jaysh said, okay, let's draw a lot. Okay? And then he picked one piece of paper and said, okay, now you call. This is your name. So literally it happened. So much reward. And if they knew the reward of Salat al-Zuhr, okay, yeah, they would race for it. And if they knew the reward of Isha and Fajr morning, Salah with Jama, they would come to offer them even if they had to crawl. Well, Salat al-Zuhr should be prayed at its earliest time. All the Salah should be prayed. But since Salat al-Zuhr was very hard upon Sahaba, if you have lived in Saudi Arabia or in Arab countries, you know that noon time, right, is very, very hard even to walk with your slippers on, and and many Sahaba had no slippers, so they had to walk barefoot. And it used to be hot. But so sometimes some Sahaba would think that I'll pray late, let it cool down. So sometimes Rasulullah gave permission, okay, fine. But usually Rasulullah said that do not make this your habit. Pray Salat al-Zuhr at this earliest time. And that to come for Jamaat in Isha and Fajr, right, is very rewarding. Very rewarding. Our Rasulullah in another hadith which we covered in Kitab al-Imam, if you remember, Rasulullah said that those people who come to the masjid during the dark hours, which is Fajr and Isha, Allah will give them Nurut Tan on the day of Hajj. Meaning you will have a divine light on the day of Hajj. Because remember, on the day of Hajj there will be darkness as well, because there will be many phases in the day of Hajj. One would be that when the sun will come down, that was one phase, but it will not last forever. Then Allah will change. Allah will bring darkness, pitch darkness. إِذَا أَخْرَجَ يَدَهُ لَمْ يَكَدْ يَرَاهَا. If you will stretch your hand, you will not be able to see your own hand. But there will be people who will have nur, right? And those are the people who come for Fajr and Isha. So please, brothers, start coming. Very important. Fajr. Sometime in our masjid, Saturday morning and Sunday morning, in Fajr Salah, the attendance is very thin. Because there's no school that day or there's no office that day. So people don't, they say, very important. Or they were partying late last night, so stop that. But to come for Fajr and Isha. And the further you live from the masjid, the better for you. You get more thawab. Because the closer you live to the masjid, is less reward. Because less effort. Plus, if you don't come to the masjid, the bigger sin. That you are living right there, सामने masjid दिख रही है आपकी खिड़की पर, you said, yeah, let me pray at home. Okay? A blind man came to Rasulullah and he said, "O Prophet of Allah, I'm blind, so am I exempt from coming to the masjid?" Rasulullah said yes. But then he said, okay. But then Rasulullah called him back. He said, come here. Does the voice of Adhan come to you? He said, yes, I hear Bilal's voice. Rasulullah said that then it's mandatory upon you to come. Blind man. It's mandatory upon you to come to the masjid. अब क्या है? देखिए, if you are living far away from the masjid, don't say that I don't hear Adhan. Because you have watches now.
No, the cell phone has the
कुछ भी है. Again, the watch, because Adhan was to remind people about time. The time हो गया भाई. Now the watch is the Adhan. So 1:30, right? It's Zuhr time. Sahaba, they had no watch. Until Bilal would call, they will have no clue that the time for Salah had arrived. If they had watches at that time, right, no problem. They would come. But they would say 1:30 is at Jama, Masjid and Adhan. So I have to be there. So, we have to be very regular in Salah. Anyway, so pronouncing Adhan, right, is an act of tremendous reward, and this is why this hadith is mentioned in Kitab Adhan. Okay. So we should not feel shy of calling Adhan. Yeah, at home, at anywhere, whenever the occasion comes. Remember, many years ago I took my His kids and some other kids to Bush Garden. There were 35 kids. So they were enjoying a ride. I said, look, at 1:30 or 2:30 we'll assemble here for lunch. So they came at 2:30 from their different rides. I said, okay, let's pray Salat first. बच्चों से सबका वजू होता है. Everybody had wudu. I think how can you have wudu? Hamsa वाला एक game था. No, make wudu again. So I asked one of the youngsters to call Adhan. Right? So no people will see. I said, so what? Then no call Adhan. No, in the masjid and home. No call Adhan here. One youngster came forward and said, I will call Adhan. Now when he called Adhan, the tourists, the guests there in the park, they stopped and they started videotaping him. When we finished Salah, Mr. Salam, I saw so many people taking photographs. Getting photographs.
Maybe it's Bush Garden.
We should not be shy about it. This fear factor, this should not be in our heart. We are Muslim, we have to show that we are Muslim. If you are fearful that you are Muslim, sometimes it hurts me so much. One brother donated that van to the masjid. So I was telling one brother, another brother who writes the paint and all that. I said, brother, on this van can you write Islamic Center of Orlando and then write free Quran and then our website address. So whenever the van goes, whatever, it will be like a dawah. So one brother was listening, he said, Hafsa, are you sure? Did you want to do it? Why? Hafsa, then it will not be safe. Why? Then people will know that it will belong to the Islamic Center. And so on. Hafsa, we have to use hikmah. This is not hikmah, this is stupidity. When you are Muslim, so this fear factor should not be the way out of Muhammad. So, this palm, American palm, is an excellent palm. In Orange County, they had a secular function secular function 3 weeks ago, and they wanted Christian, Jews, Buddhist, priest, and Islamic priest. So they called me. I said, why? There's no, Islam is here, Muslims are here, so we need somebody to represent them. So nice. कहाँ होगा सर? अच्छा तो discuss पे. But if we become fearful of them, that's not. They need to know what Islam is. One time I was at Sand Lake Hospital. I'm a chaplain there. So one time, over breakfast, we had a meeting, Christian, Jews, and Muslims. So the topic was given to us about life after death. So Jews have to tell us their concept of life after death. Christians have to tell them, and Muslims have to do. So I had to do this time. So I said, I'll go last. I wanted to hear from them. So the Jewish was very easy. We are the chosen people. Only Jews will go to paradise. The rest of them will go to hell. Lekin isko, that person said it in a sugar coating way. वो क्रिश्चियन का हमारा बकवास सर ना पैर उसमें नहीं लगा. And they were done in like 2-3 minutes. अपना बोला उधर बोला. I took nearly 40-45 minutes. When I saw that their concept of life after death is rubbish, I took time. I don't know how much, but I took time explaining to them life after death. So as I was speaking, and everything that our Rasulullah have told us, from Malakul Maut coming and taking your soul to Alim Barzakh, to the day of Hashr, to all that Hisab, everything. Alhamdulillah, everything is so crystal clear in Islam. So they could not believe that everything has been so much detailed in Islam. And these are priests and rabbis I'm talking about.
Scholars.
Yeah. So we should not be shy.
How do you know here?
Yeah, I used to say, Prophet Muhammad said this, Prophet Muhammad said this, Quran said this, Prophet Muhammad said this. I'm just narrating, but go and check. So we should not feel shy. These people need this. In Tampa, there's this girl, 26-year-old girl. I'm trying to look for a husband for her because she was a Christian and she was the daughter of a priest. For 23-24 years, she served the church. And then she said that this Trinity never made sense to her. Yeah, I called her over the phone and she said that she one day she questioned her dad about Christianity, that if are there 3 gods or 1 God, or 1 or 3, what it is. So when the father failed to explain, she said that I'm quitting. So she embraced Islam. Now
Still looking at.
huh?
Still looking at.
So mashallah, so now she's saying that so one brother approached me and he said that here she is, if you know some person. Now one brother is interested in her, but he is 6 years younger. I said, brother, yeah. What I'm saying is that there are people that are out there who grew up in Christianity in the church, but they are embracing Islam. So we should not feel shy of sharing our faith. We should not feel shy. Like you were asking, sister, that when you talk to them, you will realize how much you know. At least you can convince them about Tawheed. Easy. And there's no point of being shy. Anyway, so calling Adhan, whether you are at home, in the masjid, outside, you should not feel shy of it. The reward is tremendous. So, Hadith number 590. Now Abdullah ibn Haritha says that once on a rainy, muddy day, Ibn Abbas delivered a sermon in our presence, and when the Muaddin pronounced the Adhan and said, Hayya ala Salah, Ibn Abbas ordered him to say, pray at your homes. Which means as-salah fil rihal. Arabic is as-salah fil rihal. The people began to look at each other surprisingly. Ibn Abbas said it was done by one who was much better than meaning Rasulullah sallallahu or his muazzin, and it is a license. And meaning when it is raining, right? So azan would be made. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah. But if you don't have an umbrella, if you cannot come to the masjid because of rain, then Rasulullah ordered Sahabi to say as-salah fil rihal, that you can pray at your home. Or rihal actually means your mean of transportation. So if you are on a camel or somewhere, that small room that they put on the back of camel, you can pray salah there. So this shows that when it is raining, you can pray at home. But I believe that this excuse is not good for us. It was good for Sahaba, but not for you and me. Because we have cars, we have umbrellas. Yeah, unless it's a hurricane or something.
Or snow, very heavy snow.
Heavy snow. But if you can make it, then make it. And Sahaba had no umbrella, nothing, so they would come soaked. Right? And remember, in Medina, it didn't used to rain that much. It was very, very seldom that it will happen. So Sahaba had no umbrella. If they come to the masjid, that coming to the masjid will become a problem because they will be all soaked, right? And if every Sahabi is coming soaked, so you can imagine how can they pray. So yes.
Some masjid I have seen, like if it's raining,
Yeah.
we are praying Zuhr Salah. Right after that, they pray Asr
Mostly.
Salah as well.
Yeah. If we talked about it, I think you should pray Eid Salah this time. Yeah. Unless you are traveling, उसमें तो चले थोड़ी बहुत गुंजाइश है. But in the Hanafi school of thought there is no permission. But I think we should be liberal as because the Hadith is that. As-salah fil rihal. So Ibn Abbas said that call as-salah fil rihal. As-salah fil rihal. As-salah fil rihal. So this is Islam, very balanced religion. So narrated by the next hadith 591, narrated by Salim ibn Abdullah, said, my father said that Rasulullah said Bilal pronounced azan at night. So इसमें थोड़ी तवज्जो चाहिए साहब, because if people don't understand, they get confused. In fact, many people do have confused because see, hadith Sharif should be understood as Sahaba had told us. We should not use our way of. My father said that Rasulullah said Bilal pronounced azan at night. So keep on eating and drinking suhoor till Ibn Maktoum pronounces azan. Salim said he was a blind man who would not pronounce the azan unless he was told that the day had dawned. What happened was that Sahaba will climb up on the rooftop to call adhan. Okay, there was no market. So it was a tradition at the time of Rasulullah that Rasulullah would like Sahaba to get up for tahajjud. Now how to make them get up for tahajjud? Well, there was no other mean but to call adhan. Okay? So that azan was of tahajjud. In Ramadan and outside Ramadan. So Rasulullah would say that if you are fasting that day, right, or you are planning to fast that day, so, and you get up at that time when Bilal called adhan, so keep on eating and drinking, right, till the next azan starts, which would be called by the blind Sahabi whose name was Ibn Maktoum. Okay? Some people have understood this hadith to say that when the azan of Ibn Maktoum had is done. So you still have time where you can still keep eating or drinking. Here Rasulullah was saying that no, you should stop. Now when Bilal will go on the rooftop, right, he will eat and drink there. Ibn Hajar have mentioned this. He would eat and drink there, and he will come down only when the time of the second azan is near. So since Ibn Maktoum was blind, Bilal will go and tell him, "Bhai, now go. It's your turn to call Adhan. It's time for Fajr."
Bilal said Isha.
Yeah, Bilal will call the Tahajjud Adhan. And the blind Sahabi Ibn Maktoum will call the Fajr. Now there is a tradition in Medina even today that in Ramadan and outside Ramadan there are two adhan. One for Tahajjud, and it's a big blessing, because if you go there, you wake up. Because when I went there, I thought that it's Fajr time. But Alhamdulillah, let's say if Fajr Salah is at 5:30, they call Adhan at 4 o'clock. So that's a big help for you, because you get up and you go early to Masjid Nabawi, and you get Tahajjud as well as Fajr. So this is a tradition that from Rasulullah's time. So it is still happening till now.
I have a question. Yeah. So the people are mistaken, they think that the second azan is the iqam?
Yes.
Is that what they're thinking?
Yes. Sometimes they think this is what. First is for Adhan. Now remember that Azan is for Salah. The real Azan is for Salah. Although you can call Azan in the ear of the newborn baby, but that is not for Salah. If the wind is going fast or hurricane comes, you can call Adhan. Right? If you fear that there is some shayateen, jinn in your house, you can call Adhan. All these things are meant, but those kind of Adhan are not for Salah. Right? They are only for the barakah of Allah's name. Now Hadith number 592, narrated by Hafsa. When the Muazzin pronounced the Azan for Fajr Salah and the dawn became evident, Rasulullah ordered a 2 rakat light Salah before the Iqamah of the compulsory Salah, meaning after Azan for Fajr. Right? There should be 2 rakat of Sunnah Salah. And these 2 rakat should not be long, should be light. And the Hadith Sharif says that Rasulullah used to usually read Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun in the first rakah and Qul Huwallahu Ahad in the second rakah. And then usually, why should not these 2 rakat of Sunnah before Fajr should be long? Kyun? Think. Because Fajr should be long. The Fajr Salah should be long. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to pray 2 rakat of light Salah and then come for. So narrated by Aisha that Rasulullah used to offer light rakat between the Azan and Iqamah of Fajr Salah. 594, Rasulullah said, Bilal pronounced the Azan at night, so keep on eating and drinking till pronounce Azan. 595, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said that Rasulullah said, the Azan pronounced by Bilal should not stop you from suhoor, for he pronounced the Azan at night, so that one offering the late night tahajjud from among you might hurry up, and the sleeping from among you might wake up. This was the purpose. If you are sleeping, you should get up for tahajjud. If you are eating suhoor, you should know that the time is short. It does not mean that dawn or morning has started. Then Prophet ﷺ pointed his fingers and raised them towards the sky and then lowered them towards the earth like this. Ibn Mas'ud imitated the gesture of Prophet ﷺ. Az-Zuhri gestured with his 2 index fingers, which he put on each other and then stretched them to the right and left. These gestures illustrate the way real dawn appears. It spreads left, then horizontally, and then right. The dawn that appears in the high sky and lower. So meaning our Rasulullah through his fingers told Sahaba that the dawn appeared like this. Now why Sahaba went into the detail of saying that Rasulullah did like this, right? So whatever they saw Rasulullah doing, they wanted to narrate it to us. So Rasulullah said that like this, so they said like this. Okay, Hadith number 596. Aisha said that the Rasulullah said, Bilal pronounces the azan at night, so eat and drink, support to get rid of the brown azan. 597. Rasulullah said thrice, there is salah between the two azan for the one who wants to pray. So it's through tafsir. What it means is that between every azan and first salah, that is sunnah. Fajr azan is called, there is sunnah. Zuhr azan is called sunnah. Asr is called sunnah. Isha sunnah. But the issue is Maghrib. Now the best thing for Maghrib is that once the azan is called, you should pray salah right away. For salah right away. But it is mustahab that if you have time between the azan of Fajr, Maghrib, and the starting of Jama, you can pray 2 rakat. Sahaba used to pray 2 rakat whenever there was time.
Ramadan.
Why? Because sometimes Rasulullah was busy. Let's say he's making wudu. He's coming out, and Sahaba will feel that there's some time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So instead of sitting and gossiping, they'll say, let me pray 2 rakat between Maghrib and the start of the azan and the start of Jama. So now in Saudi Arabia, what they do is they give you time. When the azan is called, they give you 3-4 minutes in Maghrib, so that you can pray 2 rakat.
Is there any ikhtilaf with the madhab about that one?
Yeah. I mean, the Hanafi school of thought also says, fine, if you have time, you can pray but it is not recommended. And what we find out is that Rasulullah ﷺ did not, he saw Sahaba praying, but Rasulullah did not stop praying. Right? Did not stop them. But one view is accepted, and that is that in Maghrib, the earliest you pray, the better.
Also, right?
Yeah, but in Maghrib, especially in Maghrib, because the Maghrib time is very short.
Also, did Rasulullah pray 2 rakah or
No,
not?
that is a very good question. There is no mention of Rasulullah praying those 2 rakahs.
So it's not a sunnah.
Very good
It's a sunnah of the
question.
Sahaba.
Yeah. Sahaba he would pray and Rasulullah would see them praying and Rasulullah would not stop them. This is why Fuqaha said it is mustahab. Hanafi school of thought is not even mustahab. Hanafi school is not mustahab. Imam Hanifa is the view that, look, Rasulullah did not pray, that's number 1. Number 2 is that Rasulullah did not encourage it. Yes, there was time, so Sahaba prayed. Okay? So, Imam Hanifa is the view that something which is firm, right? After Adhan, do that first. And then you can pray Nafil and Sunnah after first. So, anyhow, but if you want to pray, and like if you are in Saudi Arabia or elsewhere, where there in some masjid, in Masjid Zuhr also, once I went, they give time. So if you have time, then pray. Right? But to give time specially, then Imam is ready, people are ready, still to give time, that is not recommended. Because, if everybody is ready, the Adhan is called, Imam is ready, the Musalli are in the masjid, right, for Salah. So just start right away.
No, this is not sunnah, then what kind of namaz it is?
Mustahab.
Rasulullah never prayed, so what namaz then?
But Rasulullah did not stop them either. So remember, the hadith is that if Rasulullah saw something happening and he did not stop them, it cannot be haram. So it is mustahab, mil jaya mauqa.
There's no denying.
So, next hadith is narrated by Anas ibn Malik said that when the muazzin pronounced the azan, some of the companions of Rasulullah would proceed to the pillar of the mosque for salah till Rasulullah arrived. And in this way, they used to pray 2 rakat before the Maghrib salah. There used to be a little time between the azan and the iqamah. And Shu'aba says there used to be a very short interval between the 2 azan and iqamah. Okay? Then Hadith 599, Aisha said that Rasulullah used to pray 2 light rakat between the morning, meaning Fajr, compulsory salah, after the day dawn, and the Muazzin had finished his run. He then would lie on his right side till the Muazzin came to pronounce the Iqamah. I would not recommend you to do this. You go to sleep. Now Rasulullah will lie down because Rasulullah had spent the night in Tahajjud. Remember? So after Bilal has called Adhan, Rasulullah will pray 2 rakat sunnah, and then Rasulullah will give time for Sahaba to come and assemble. So let's say there is a 10-15 minutes time, so Rasulullah will just lie down. He will not go to sleep, he will lie down, take a 10 minutes rest, and then will come for Fajr, to read Fajr Salah. Yeah? But remember, that was because Rasulullah spent hours after hours in Tahajjud.
The Hujra was right next to it.
Right next to you. Yeah. Right next to you. You know, if we go to if we lie down, we'll go to sleep. So that's the thing.
Is there any prayer in between Fajr, Sunnah, and is there enough of time?
No. Good question. Is there any salah between Fajr, Sunnah, and Fajr Salah? No.
Also, if you pray for Fajr Sunnah in your house and then you come to the Masjid, can you pray Tahiyatul Masjid?
Then you can pray. If you have come to the Masjid and you have not prayed Tahiyatul Masjid, but the question is that you came to the Masjid and you prayed Sunnah, then there is no Tahiyatul Masjid. Because if you pray Sunnah, it includes Tahiyatul Masjid.
How about if I pray Tahiyatul Sunnah first, then I pray another 2 rakat?
So then you can do. You pray Tahiyatul Masjid first, right?
Yes.
And then Sunnah.
Yeah.
That you can do. But my answer was that if you have come to the Masjid and you have prayed 2 rakat of Sunnah, so there is no need for Tahiyatul Masjid. You can, like Uzabai saying that you came to the Masjid, you saw that 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go for Fajr. So what you can do is, you can pray 2 rakat of Tahiyatul Masjid, then 2 rakat of Sunnah.
Pray
then
long surahs. Surah Yasin or
Prophet said that the 2 Sunnah should be light. Because the Imam usually, and this is the Sunnah as well, that Fajr Salah, the Qira'ah should be long. But not too long either. You have to leave. For example, I make sure that I finish within 8 to 9 minutes. Because after Fajr, I believe that people have to go to work. Because many brothers have to report to their office at 7 o'clock. So the moment I say Assalamu alaikum, that 2-3 brothers who rush towards the door, then I know that they have to be in the downtown office by 7 o'clock. So you have to consider all this. Because if I take 15-16 minutes, that would be too much for me. So we have to. Like one time I went to Masjid Zuhr, I told you that Imam was not there. I also reached later. So there was some person, some regular Musalli, somebody said, brother, can you lead Salah? Yeah. So he, in Maghrib, he read Surah Qaf. Tasawwur kariye, in 1 rakah, Surah Qaf. 3 long rukus. And Surah Qaf is a very emotionally charged surah. If you know Arabic, you would love reading Surah Qaf. It talks about Jahannam, how it will be filled, and then talk about Jannah in detail. So this brother, he was repeating those ayahs. In Jahannam, Yawma naqulu li Jahannam halin talaqti naqulu min mazid. That the Jahannam would be full of people, and Jahannam would say, Allah, send more people. So he was saying this, and then, by the time he finished, it was like 20 minutes or something in Maghrib. So the Cairo market owner was standing next to me. I remember after Islam, he said to me, Sheikh Tariq, this is why I don't come to this position. He said that 20-25 minutes, there will be a line of customers there. Don't they read short surah? I said, I don't know who his brother is. He said, where's your Imam? He's not here.
That's his 15 minutes pay.
So we have to use common sense. Our Rasulullah Hadith said, we covered that in Kitab Salah. Remember that? Rasulullah said that when you are made Imam, keep the Salah to a moderate amount of time. When you are praying alone, make it as long as you want. So we have to see that. So Hadith number 600, Rasulullah said that there is a Salah between the two Adhan and Qama. There is a prayer between two Adhan, and then while saying it, the third time he added for one who wants to pray. So this is why Imam Hanifa rahimahullah have not recommended someone who wants to pray. So after Maghrib, if you want to pray, you can quickly squeeze in 2 rakat of Salah. Okay? But the best time is to pray Maghrib Salah at its earliest time. Imam is ready, the Jama is ready. Then, because remember Rasulullah will sometime come out late because he was busy with something. So then Sahaba will pray. Will seize that opportunity to pray to Rakat.
After Maghrib also there is Awabin?
Well, after Maghrib we pray 6 rakat of Awabin and all that.
That's different.
That's different. But this is between Azan and Iqam. Narrated by Malik ibn Huwairis. He said, I came to Rasulullah with some men from my tribe and stayed with him for 20 nights. Now look at the hadith and see how much merciful Rasulullah was. He was kind and merciful to us. When he realized our longing for our families, he said to us, go back and stay with your families and teach them the religion. And offer the salah, and one of you should pronounce the azan for the salah when its time is due. And the oldest one among you should lead the prayer. Okay? Now remember, when you say oldest, okay, we see that our Rasulullah, when he was alive, he would lead. But then there was some young Sahaba who would lead. Like Ibn Abbas will lead. He was very young. Okay? So here our ulama have written here, oldest mean because these people were new to Islam. They have spent 20 nights in Masjid and now they were going back. Now most of them were young, as it says. Most of these men were young. So they were missing their family. So Rasulullah, when he felt that they are missing their family, Rasulullah said that yes, you can go back to your family. Right? But when you go teach them about Islam, and when the time for Salah comes, someone should call Azan, and then the oldest one among you should lead Salah. Because Rasulullah saw that the rest of them are young and new to Islam. And the oldest one will have more understanding, supposedly. So he should lead Salah. Now the general rule is that the most knowledgeable person should lead Salah. And one more thing, those people who know the Sharia should be standing behind the Imam. That's another thing. So that if something wrong happens, they can correct.
Is there anything related to the person who has a beard or not?
Sorry as well. Very good question. Some people make it. Some people make it a big issue, and that is that beard is sunnah of Rasulullah. And the fiqh point of view is that to have beard is wajib. Rasulullah never shaved. Isa never shaved. It is said that this is the sunnah of all Nabi. So it is definitely wajib. There is no doubt about it. So somebody who is shaving his beard, right? So in literal sense, it is called fasid, because he knows So, but Muslims are doing it for whatever it is. But that person should not be made Imam who deliberately knows that this is the Sunnah of Rasulullah. It is wajib and it is the Sunnah of all the Prophets. He said, no, I don't care, I will still shave. So, in the presence of people who have knowledge and who are following Rasulullah Sunnah, this person should not be made Imam. Yes, if there is no person, I mean, in a place where everybody is the same, then make it there. Because everybody is the same.
Also, this wajib, according to Imam Abu Hanifa, all Imams.
Regarding beard, it is across the board, all of them. This is not the view of just Imam Abu Hanifa. So, because growing beard is as wajib as hijab is for women, you know that? Because as hijab is wajib upon women, beard is wajib upon men.
So that's a ruling from the ulama, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because ruling is based upon the Sunnah of Rasulullah. Sunnah of Rasulullah, Anbiya and Sahaba. None of the Sahabi, it is mentioned that any of them have shaved.
There is a strict hadith about that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of hadiths about that.
Yeah.
Where he ordered.
Yes. Rasulullah ordered is that let your beard grow and trim your mustache. But here when I say that when Rasulullah said let your beard grow, it does not mean that you should not keep your beard in shape and let it grow. We have to use our common sense. So Abdullah ibn Abbas, one day he was, many years after Rasulullah left, he was keeping his beard into shape, he was trimming it. So one person came and said, hey Abdullah, what are you doing? He said, what? He said, you are bringing your beard to shape, so what's wrong in that? He said, I don't know, I thought that that's not right. So Abdullah ibn Abbas said something pretty beautiful. He said, are you married? Yes. He said, do you want your wife to look beautiful to you? Yeah. They said, don't you think that your wife wants her husband to look good? So he said, no, in Allah Jamilun yuhibbul Jamal. Allah is beautiful, Allah loves to see people appearing nicely. Okay? So, so and also to grow, to bring beard is important, and of course, we should. So that is the ruling system. The issue here, I have different with some quote unquote hardcore Muslims, and that is that the ruling is right completely. So, but the thing is that when we are living in a time which is tough, right? So we have to use some hikmah and wisdom, especially our huffaz, who are youngsters who became hafiz. When that time comes to lead salah, I am very liberal on that. I feel that every hafiz should get a chance, whether he has beard or he has no beard, because it is important for these children to get encouraged. Okay? And beard will come later on, don't worry.
After the Hajj.
But if you discourage them, now the liberal view is very dangerous, especially, sorry to say this, among most Arabs. That is very dangerous, and that is that they say beard no important period. So now you see in Saudi Arabia and elsewhere, Saudis, the real Saudis, they would never shave their beard. But now, since last 20-25 years, beard is gone.
They keep a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. About gone. You go Saudi, Dubai, Qatar, they don't keep beard at all. Even their ulamas don't do this. Many years ago, one Egyptian Misri brother came and said, Sheikh Tariq, mashallah, from Jama Azhar. I have my Sheikh, he's Sheikh al-Hadith there, mashallah, teaching for 30-35 years, Sahih Sitta. And he's coming, alhamdulillah, I'm so happy. But Sheikh, will you give him chance to make a speech and lead Juma? Now remember Jama Azhar? It's like taqaddus, respect to Jama Azhar. I said, mashallah. And Shaykh al-Hadith teaching for 30 years. I said, why not, brother? Don't even ask. You just bring him. But he said, yes. I said, can you bring him like before Juma? I can meet him. And I know. He said, yes, Shaykh. Tomorrow he's coming. I'll bring him to Masjid. Now I have that picture in my head, Shaykh al-Hadith, like back home, Shaykh al-Hadith, Nadua, or I said, I have that. Well, next day, he came with a person with 3-piece suit, no beard, nothing, all clean shaven, suit, tie. He said, Shaykh al-Hadith. I mean, literally my jaw dropped. Shaykh al-Hadith. And he sat down and started quoting Hadith and Quran. I didn't ask him to make a speech. He just said, he had memorized Hadith. But that didn't impress me because, I said, how can I introduce him to the Musalli that he is Jami Azhar, Ustad, Shaykh al-Hadith. I told that brother, I said, brother, sorry. I don't agree with this.
But he may have a restriction from the government.
Al-Bukhari हैं और Shaykh al-Tawi हैं, they have here. So now if you see those Arab Imams and Ulamas, they really have beard. So this is another extreme view who say that beard is not important, it's an option, which is completely wrong. All the mujtahideen say it is compulsory.
Praying at home, it says like the host can lead that. Is it also with some hadith or?
Yeah. If you are praying, let's say you have some guests over your house, nobody can lead salah at your house without your permission. Huh? Yeah, the host has the right to designate who is going to lead. If he wants to lead, he has the first right. So nobody can lead salah without your permission. Okay, now last hadith and then we will conclude. 602, Abu Dharr Ghifari said that we were in the company of Rasulullah on a journey. Yeah, on a journey, and the Muazzin wanted to pronounce Adhan for Salat al-Zuhr. Rasulullah said to him, let it be cooler. Meaning, Rasulullah said, do not give Adhan, let it be cooler. Then he again wanted to pronounce the Adhan, but Rasulullah said, let it become cooler. The Muazzin again wanted to pronounce the Adhan. Rasulullah said, let it become cooler, till the shadow of the hillocks become equal to its size. Rasulullah added, the severity of the heat is from the raging of hellfire. So meaning, during journey, right? Journey, it was very hot, and Rasulullah knew that Sahaba will not be able to walk on this burning sand. Remember, they had, Ghazwat Tabuk, many of them, आपने भी सुना, Ghazwa, क्या था? Kainuqa. Where the Ghazwa was named after
Hill.
जो पैर में लपेटते हैं चप्पल and yeah, so Sahaba had no slippers. So here was one of such occasion. But Rasulullah said that the sand is too hot, it's burning. So Rasulullah told the Muazzin Bilal not to call Adhan. So in our language, instead of calling Adhan at let's say 1:50, let's say Rasulullah let the Muazzin call around 3 o'clock or so. Although Rasulullah himself had instructed us to pray Salah at the earliest time, but since Rasulullah on a journey, as few Sahaba had socks or shoes, so Rasulullah said no, let it become cooler. That is Islam. You have to use common sense. Generally speaking, if you are in Medina, Rasulullah said no at the earliest time. But here is the journey, it's really hot, sand is burning, so Rasulullah said that no. Right. So we have to use common. So inshallah we'll stop here. Now brothers and sisters, to be honest, I have not prepared the class, the Sahabi biography, because I was planning to do it last night, but some guests came and they left nearly near midnight. So they took all of my time to prepare it.
Adhan and the beard. Is there any?
No.
There is a mosque right here. I will not mention the name. You cannot all call the Adhan there.
This is very bad. Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, I know. When I came to Jama Masjid, it was same here. I had to change it. I asked those brothers, where's the proof that only people with beard should call Adhan? There's no proof. So now, alhamdulillah, anybody can call Adhan. So there's nothing like that. Okay, as I said that I could not prepare. So but I'll take a few minutes of your time in showing you this. We are talking about it before Hadith class, that here this person that you see, he's from Netherlands. He's in Ihram. His name is Don. It rhymes. Don. Okay, so he's the one. He made that film called Fitna, and he made that film against our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And believe it or not, he came to Orlando as well. Yeah, 3 years he came to Orlando, and he did a premiere of his film here in Orlando. And some brothers did come up with this idea of doing something against him, but thank God we did not do anything. Because he,
See, that's the other guy, Keith Wilder.
yeah, so
He's still.
yeah, but he did come to California, DC, LA, and he did huge premiere of his film Fitna, which is full of bad thing about, nasty thing about Rasulullah. And the interesting thing is that the Republican Party and the right wingers took him. The Tea Party people, made him look like he's a hero. And his fitna was recommended by, क्या नाम उसका, वो जो आता है रेडियो पे, Raslim Khabis. He talked about it that it's very good. You should watch, like he barks all the time. So, but look, this person, and then in our Desi culture, anybody who writes against Rasulullah sallallahu or any film that is made or cartoon that is made, we go on the street and protest, and then we start burning and killing and all that stuff. So it happened because of this person making that film fitna. Yeah? But now you see him in Ihram, you see him making Hajj because he became Muslim. And he became Muslim. If you go on Google and type his name, I remember reading his interview somewhere where he said that nobody had ever introduced him to Rasulullah sallallahu.
Maybe YouTube.
Till one person gave him, I don't remember, either Quran or Siratul Nabi sallallahu. I think it was Siratul Nabi sallallahu. He read that book and then he embraced Islam. He said, well, nobody had ever told me before, that's why I made this film. So now it was like Umar's conversion to Islam, that he hated Rasulullah, he was going to kill Rasulullah sallallahu, but then he became Muslim. Okay? So Rasulullah said, "Khiyaruhum fil jahiliyyah, khiyaruhum fil Islam idha faqahu." That those people who are against Islam do not think that they are bad people. People who are against Islam don't think that they are bad people. It's just that nobody has taught them Islam. If they will not know about Islam, they will become very good Muslims. So I'm talking to you on this issue because I want you, every sister, every brother, to do something for Islam. And that is not just donate money, do something for Islam by doing dawah of Islam. And here is, I think, his interview, which I would highly recommend all of you to go back home and watch, so we can learn something.
I think you have to turn it up with the amplifier. You turn on the speaker. Never done.
देखिए ये बता रहा है कि how
वो जो पार्टी लीडर है
yeah, and one more thing, he is the head of the right winger party in Holland.
ये वो है ना वो गर्ड वाइल्डर ये भी है ये is a party member लेकिन वो उसका नाम है गर्ड वाइल्डर
if we do not get the audio, we can send you a link or you can go home and it's coming.
वो भी लंदन जा रहा था ना गर्ड वाइल्डर लंदन में उसको रोक गया इंग्लैंड ने रोक दिया
En het is ook niet in mijn belang om heel veel media te doen, want dan lijkt het net alsof ik aandacht nodig heb of media opzoek en dat is juist niet.
This is in Dutch.
And also you can go and watch it. It's not, the purpose is not for you to watch here, but you can.
Forbidden to worship those on whom ye call instead of Allah. Say, I will not follow your desires, for then should I go astray, and I should not be of the rightly guided. Say, I am relying on clear proof from my Lord, while ye deny him. I have not that for which ye are impatient. The decision is for Allah only. He telleth the truth, and he is the best of deciders. Say, if I had that for which ye are impatient, then would the case ere this have been decided between me and you. Allah is best aware of the wrongdoers. And with him are the keys of the invisible. None but he knoweth them. And he knoweth what is in the land and the sea. Not a leaf falleth but he knoweth it. Not a grain amid the darkness of the earth. Naught of wealth the life there, that guardians over you for the land. And forsake those who take their religion for a pastime and a jest, and whom the life of the world beguileth.
It's the last try.
Yes, in one.
Now he is praying next to the Rawza of Rasulullah. You see that? So after conversion to Islam, he came to Masjid Nabi. And the newspaper said that he said, "O Prophet of Allah, forgive me for defaming you." That's what he said. So that got the headline all over. Anyhow,
That's in Twitter, I think, that he said that I shouldn't lie.
so anyhow, so the thing is that the purpose of showing you is that it is important for us to make dawah. It is very important. We'll find wonderful Americans who will become Muslim and they will be a better Muslim than what you and I are. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Inshallah we'll see you next week.
अगर चाय भी क्या होगा शरबत बन गया होगा केक क्रिकेट का केक
बोला कितना बोला bahas
लंबा दुआ पढ़ रहे हैं, वो लंबा पढ़ रहे हैं, वो लंबी दुआ है उतने नहीं पढ़े हैं, वो लंबी दुआ पढ़ रहे हैं, वो एक डबल है, डबल तो नहीं वो लंबी है पूरी दुआ नहीं दुआ का अलावा वजन होता है ना, वो ऐसे नहीं को इनकम्प्लीट ऐसा नहीं है, बट आप वो तो ये है अच्छा वो वाला ये वाला